श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 யோகிராய ராம 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 गुरुराय योगिराम गुरुकुमा योगिराम गुरुकुमा योगिराम गुरुकुमा जय गुरुराय राम 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। In celebration of the grace that made this possible for us, that gift of grace, with deep gratitude we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Yesterday was the Deepam day, a very significant day for all the sadhaks, especially sadhaks and the devotees. I remember way back in 99, every year Bhagavan used to come and there would be an arrangement of a pandal outside Pradhan Mandir where he would be seated to give darshan. And then people would be singing Arunachaleshwara and Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. But that particular year, 99, he came late from Sudama. And what was more, instead of getting seated there outside, where the place was arranged for him, he came inside and we followed him, almost running to catch up with him. He seated himself in the chair next to the Murti that you can see now. And then as usual, we, Vijayalakshmi Amma and myself, were seated in the hut here, and it was getting to be 5:30, 5:40, 5:50. There was no sign of Bhagavan getting up and going out. The outside space, the whole of the space, was packed with people. And everybody was waiting for him to come out. But then Bhagavan would not budge. He kept smoking and smoking. When it reached about 5:55, I was a little alarmed. I went near and I said, Bhagavan, only 5 minutes more for the lighting. He said, oh, all right, you go and sit down. I came back. Again, 5:56, 5:57. I went again to tell him it was 5:57 and only 2 more minutes left. He said, oh, and there was no other word from him. So I came back and sat. It was 5:59 and I had to go and tell him. And then again he just looked at me and I knew instantly he was not going to go out. And then we heard the whole lot of people screaming, Namali Karohara. And we knew that the light was on. I said, Bhagavan, they lighted. Oh, all right, now. I said, people have started moving, started going to go around the mountain. Oh, all right. You have seen this beggar, now you can go around this beggar. The 2 of you can go round. I knew instantly what he meant, and then, in fact, it was coming to my mind for quite a few minutes then that he was not going to go out at all, and a very important message was being conveyed for all the devotees. Because we prostrated immediately and then we started to go around. He said, you can go around me 3 times. And then we came back prostrated. And then people of the ashram, they brought the arati, and that was done to Bhagavan. The message was loud and clear for all. He often said, this beggar is within you and with you. There need be no anxious search outside. And then, as soon as the arati was over, he got up quickly and we rushed back to Sudama. He would not allow us to see the light on the mountain, nor did we feel like it because we felt a sense of fulfillment. The message went down deeply. It is that column of fire that originally appeared. Raman Maharishi often said, there is only the knowledge, there is only jnana, there are no jnanis. What did he mean? There is only the knowledge. There are no knowers. The minute you say knower, it becomes Dvaita. When you say knowledge, knowledge is at once the pure awareness, which has nothing else to be aware of. The awareness is aware of itself, and you cannot say it's being aware. It's just being aware. There is nothing else to be aware of. Now, the column of fire is the tejas of this knowledge. That supreme knowledge manifested itself in the form of that brilliance. Now, imagine Brahma, the creator, who has Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, by his side, and Mahavishnu, who has the goddess of wealth by his side. Mahavishnu is pure awareness too. He is Shuddha Sattva. It's not that he developed ego or anything. It's just that the whole thing is symbolic. The one who possesses wealth, all the wealth in the world, cannot reach out this awareness. No manifestation can reach out, no matter how high it is in manifestation. So neither the knowledge, what we call aparavidya, the knowledge of the world, the knowledge of sciences and arts, all that knowledge that circulates in the world, cannot touch this awareness, nor can the wealth reach out, because it's pure awareness. There is nothing else to be aware of. And so, it's very clear that Bhagavan pointed out to us that he is verily the pure awareness, the self, whom he called my Father. He is the self in all of us. And that cannot be reached either by wealth or by this aparavidya. One has to remain aware with nothing else to be aware of. So he is within us as our pure awareness, the self, and he is with us as personal God, the immediate manifestation of love. So this is what I understood that day. It was a revelation which shook me to the core. Until then, he was a personal God, and every detail of the day was connected with him. And suddenly, he stood aside as the pure awareness within me. So when we try to reach out, when we try to be this awareness, we need purity and concentration. Many of us have developed high level of concentration because we need it even to live in the world, to earn money. But the purity is another story. Unless the mind is purified, it's difficult to go deep into the I. And so, the Deepam Day was a great revelation to us. And now, how to reach then? How to purify ourselves? Because without purity, what is purity? All the emotion, the entire spectrum of emotions, passion, fear, grief, anger, jealousy, desire for worldly possessions, they are the dirt of the mind, and we have to be free of that. And that is why we need sadhana. So Bhagavan, out of compassion and generosity, has given us all this name, his name, Nama and Nami. They are one and the same. So when we chant the name has all the power of the God, all the grace. And there are 3 different ways of japa. The first one is to chant the name loudly. It is called Vasika Japa. And then the next one is Upamsu, where you chant the mantra heard by yourself and it's not heard by others. You kind of whisper the mantra. This is 10 times more powerful than Vasika Japa. And the third type of japa is Manasa Japa. You repeat the mantra mentally. Your lips do not move. The tip of the tongue also does not move. This is 10 times more powerful than Upamsu, and Upamsu is 10 times more powerful than Vasika Japa. But then when you repeat it mentally, your attention should be on that. This attention to the mantra is called meditation. This continued attention to the mantra. There are people who say that the mantra is running all the time inside and they would be talking happily outside. It's not possible. When you turn your attention to the mantra, there is nowhere else to turn it to. This attention is very important. I remember now a conversation of J. Krishnamurti. Somebody asked him, "Sir, what is meditation?" JK said, oh, it is the attention. Sorry. Then he said, but then the mind wanders. Now where will I go for attention when the mind wanders? And Pat came the reply from J. Krishnamurti. He said, pay attention to the wandering of the mind. It is the attention that is meditation, he says. So you see how important this attention is. When we do japa, be it vasika japa or upamsa or manasa japa, the attention is very important. And when we do it with the attention, we should also remember that we are connected to that power, the power of awareness. Then it bears fruit. But above the three, the vasika, upamsa and manasa, the fourth one is even more powerful, and that is mass singing of the name. The Nama Sankirtan by thousands of people. A huge, huge divine energy rises out of it. And for each single nama that you sing with 1,000 other people, the effect of 1,000 namas will go into you if you pay attention. So let us remember that purity and concentration are necessary to come back to our original nature of pure awareness. Now the Guru, this pure awareness takes the form of the Guru. The Supreme Brahman manifests as Guru to uplift the people. The Supreme Brahman speaks the language that we speak, and it moves amongst us in a very simple manner. It reaches out to all of us the way we understand, and it conveys the ultimate truth, that we are not the body, but that pure awareness. When I sat in meditation in the initial days, the thoughts will flow like the traffic on the road. I was helpless before the attack of these thoughts. Then when I reported to Bhagavan helplessly, in despair, he said, pay attention to them, not individually, meaning, he said, even these thoughts, my Father alone exists. There is nothing else, no one else. So whatever exists comes only from my Father, the source. So he said every thought that you get is also him. And it is his energy. So look upon those thoughts as he himself. And it worked. It worked beautifully. So when the thoughts race through your mind, you don't look upon them as separate from the divine. You just think that these thoughts are coming from the source, and immediately your center of consciousness shifts to the source. And you leave the thoughts. This is one effective way of handling thoughts in meditation, so that you are aware of only the divine. Now all this is only to reach that state of column of fire. It was not fire, it was the tejas of that supreme knowledge, the supreme Brahman. It was the tejas of the pure awareness, and no manifestation, however high as Mahavishnu, could touch it. Mahavishnu had to dissolve. Every manifestation has to dissolve in that knowledge, that awareness. Otherwise, it's not reachable. This is the significance of Deepam. So when they light the Deepam on the mountain, this is to remind us of that grand day when the pure awareness stood as a column of fire, filling up the whole space, and that we should be able to see this light within us. I don't know whether I'm going to repeat it or not, because so many times so many things get repeated helplessly. Inside us there is a heart, the spiritual heart, as Raman Maharishi put it. It is at equal distance, it's right in the middle between the Adam's apple and the navel. It is the spiritual heart, and people who go deep in meditation can see it. Its brilliance. And what's more, it's surrounded by so many little flames of light. And this heart is downwards. It's like the bud of a lotus hanging down. And by what? The nadis, those energy channels called nadis, they are connected to the spiritual heart. And these nadis go all over the body, right from the foot, right from the head, from the scalp, down to the toes. Now inside this spiritual heart is Chitakash, that is the space of awareness, the space of consciousness. And within it is the flame, it's called the Pranagni, the prana, which is what manifests as our breath, the in-breath and out-breath. It's an Agni, it's fire. That's the nearest description to manifestation of consciousness. And the tip, the center of this flame is the soul, the Maya self, the ego self, the Jivatma. And right in the middle of Jivatma is Paramatma, the Antaryami. He is both Shiva and Vishnu. Now, as we progress spiritually, the downward, the hanging bud of the lotus will slowly turn upward. And then it begins to flower. Slowly, we would be able to see the flame inside, and that's what appears between the eyebrows at one stage of meditation. For Swami Vivekananda, it appeared right from the beginning of his life, so much so that this little boy thought it was everybody's experience also. Such was the purity of Swami Vivekananda. Now, remembering all this, to attain that purity, we have been given very beautiful, wonderful, energy-packed nama which is none other than Nami himself, with all his grace and power. Each Nama, the minute you chant, connects you directly to that highest power. And the power, the Guru enters you through his mantra. As you go on chanting the mantra again and again non-stop, the Guru has found a channel to continuously flow into you. So the mantra chanting is very important. And while we chant the mantra, of course, depending upon the circumstances, you can chant it loudly, or you can chant it to yourself, just the lips moving, or completely mentally. Whichever way we do it, or we can do it with 1,000 other people. Every nama does its transforming work. Every nama purifies. It is not just purification of the dirt of the mind, it also has to destroy all your past karmas. As long as the tendencies are there, the past karmas are there within you in the form of tendencies. As long as they are there, the mind would not settle down. It's not so easy to concentrate. But let us keep trying. Yogi Ram Saratkumar said, trying is tapasya. We have to keep on trying and trying and trying. The struggle would invoke the grace of God. And that's why he said, you do as much as you can, my Father would see to the rest. Because when we do, we struggle. But we don't give up. We keep on struggling and struggling and struggling, which invites a huge grace from the Divine, and that completes the task for us. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the Lord's feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy in all aspects of life to the world today. There is so much violence everywhere, disharmony and disorder. And there is already war on. And then the attacks, sudden attacks of cruel diseases. And then the furies of nature. We beg you, the cosmic controller, to bring in peace, harmony, order, and control over the diseases and the violence of nature. We also beg you to uproot all the negativities of human mind which are responsible for today's world. We beg you again to reach out to those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, no matter which country they belong to, which language they speak, and which religion they have embraced. Please do the needful. Please, we beg you to give them help and protection. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been slogging for the sake of the others from unjustified reproaches, criticisms, unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. We beg you to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity to their heights, so that it assumes, it takes up the status of the world teacher and conduct the whole world in the path of dharma, as has been predicted by so many great souls. We pray to you in all intensity and sincerity and earnestness for ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your teachings and leelas, so that we could assimilate them and convert it into Atma Shakti. We beg you to bless us to be sattvic instruments in your hands and to run our everyday life as an offering to you. And Bhagwan, please bless us not to be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the pure awareness, the state of bliss and peace. But then we need to be purified. We take refuge in your powerful Nama and ceaseless chanting of it, and joyful service without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, and that in the spirit of surrender to you. Above all, we need to practice the acceptance of whatever life brings to us, a joy or sorrow, coming from you. It can only be a blessing meant for our spiritual growth, for our greater good, for our closer kinship with you. As we purify ourselves, we should be able to detect His powerful presence, living, vibrant presence everywhere, in everything. And Bhagwan, please bless us, enable us to know that it is your will that's behind all the happenings of life. And more importantly, to detect your hidden grace even in the most disastrous adversities of life. Instead of resenting you, putting the blame on all others for our own failures, we should know that we have invited them by our past karmas. Bhagavan said, wherever you go, you cannot escape them. The law of karma is relentless. The only saving grace is devotion, the connection with God, invocation of grace. And you have promised for those who chant your name and do seva, that your Father will convert all the difficulties into great blessings. Bhagavan, please bless us to be grateful to you always, even for the adversities of life. We also seek your blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. Deepam is the day when the ancient rishis would light a lamp and then pray for all the species of the cosmos to be free from their vicious karmas. And that's what happened yesterday. It should be a relief to many species. Finally, we seek dissolution of the Maya self, the ego self, the identification with the body, the I and mine, the tyranny of ego, so that we be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, and be blessed with the immortal life, that eternal living and eternal servitude to you, that supreme eternal power, the pure awareness. Jai Bhagavan.